Borgoluce, it's an estate which belongs to a family, Collalto family. Collalto family is in this area since the 11th century. Borgoluce still is a very big estate, it's more than 1,000 hectares. It's based in two villages, one is Susegana and the other one is Santa Lucia, and Susegana is one of the 15 villages which does the D.O.C.G, Conegliano, Valdobbiadene, Prosecco, Superiore. The viticulture is one of the main activities inside our estate, but it's not the only one. We breed different kinds of animals. We have cows, pigs, water buffaloes, and then we cultivate different crops, wheat, corn, barley. We have woods, olive oil. We produce walnuts, and then we have some activities which are linked with agriculture. So we have some farmhouses for our guests or people who want to come here to visit this area. We have a couple of restaurants, and we have even some farm shops with our products. For us, it's very important to maintain different activities inside our estate, because if you have different activities, you manage to maintain one of the important aspects of the environment, which is the maintenance of the biodiversity. So in this way, we manage to maintain a landscape which has woods, grass, and other kinds of crops. Now we can do a tour. Finish. Inside the state we have two main headquarters. One headquarter, it's this one here, where we have our offices, a farm shop, and we have the winery, which it's a new winery which we are just building and will be ready for the harvesting 2017, this harvesting here. Then we have another one, which is in this area, where we have we breed water buffaloes, and we have even we process the milk, we do cheese, and then we have even a plant to produce electricity from biogas, and we have one of our restaurants and even a museum. So it's a very complex and different activities inside the estate.
And how many hectares are there in total?
More or less, there are more than 1,000 hectares.
Of which, how many vines?
Vines are around 100 vines, and once upon a time, until 20 years ago, the area of this part of Veneto, Treviso province, was not only Prosecco, so not only Glera grape, but even red grapes, like with international varieties like Cabernet Merlot, and but now this area is becoming very, very famous worldwide for one wine, which is the Prosecco. So even the ampelographic basis of different kinds of vineyards, it's changing a lot. For example, in our estate, we have more or less 100 hectares of vineyard, and more than 90% it's Prosecco, and we have even some Pinot and Chardonnay, Cabernet and Merlot. But the red wine and the still wines, it's a very, really, very little part of our wine business.
And how many hectares are D.O.C.G?
D.O.C.G, we have around more than 60 hectares in the D.O.C.G area.
So this is going to be a new cellar, did you say?
Yeah. And it's a very nice view. Pay attention here. And this part which we are visiting, this will be a part which will be for tourists which come here for wine tastings and to increase the knowledge And what is very nice, we can see on top. There's a very nice view of the area. So the winery will be in a very nice environment in the middle. Yeah, pay attention. Will be in the middle of the vineyards. You have all the landscapes of the hills.
So I can imagine this is a big investment.
This is a very big investment. Yes, it's a very big investment. But when it's even when you have even to think that you have to be how you say you have to be prepared even to when the tourists arrive, the people who want to know how you produce the wine, they need to find even a very nice and very even professional estates which are able to teach or to explain how we do our wine and which are the characteristics of the area which is done this wine here. And even the structures, they have to be very functionally, but they have to be even very nice, no? And they have to be even integrated in the landscape. So this winery will be very integrated, because what you will see now, it's all underneath how the winery should be. They should be underground. So what we try to create here is something which somebody will never think that's so big underneath, and especially on three sides of the winery you have the ground, so it's important for maintaining the same temperature. And another thing which we find very important, as people work all year time inside the winery, is very important even for their health to have the daylight and not always with artificial light. So we are underneath the ground, but we have daylight for all the hours which people work inside. We have different, very important, even the different dimensions of the tanks, because in this way we manage to do the vinification for the different vineyards. So we have from 50 to 500, because it's very important to maintain the different vineyards during the vinification. And of course, after when you finish the harvesting and you finish the vinification, you do even the assembling to have even you put it in the big tanks of 500 hectares to have the same product for the year. All the tanks have a control temperature. All the tanks are even isolated to gain and save power, so to save electricity. The harvesting will be at the end of August, and I believe it will be all ready for the end of August. We will not have the problems. You have to imagine here will be all green, all grass, and will be even trees and so on.
It'll be blended in.
Yeah. The grape arrives down here, arrives here, goes to the press, and then goes to the tanks for the vinification. for me it was very important that even who works in the winery, I mean, it will be 2 or 3 guys, they can have it all under control. We can see everything. So it's a big open space. Our idea is our estate is always open to everybody who wants to come to visit in the different aspects which we do.
And you're educating people into the benefits of Prosecco Superiore.
Yeah, that's the very important thing. We can go to see the upper part of the... You have to pay attention to the wild pig, because we have some here, and they come inside, they jump inside.
So how many pig
We have around all the, we breed them more or less, they are 200, 250, not a lot. We stay outside all year time. Of course, I feed them. They don't eat wild berries and so on. I have to feed them. But they, as you see, they do a lot of exercise. The dark ones here, it's a race, the American one, it's called D.O.C.G. And the white ones, it's English, it's ash white. Very intelligent animals, very clean animals. Even this kind of breed cows in this way, and even the cows and pigs, I mean, of course, after we transform them in sausages and salami, but they have a nice life. I mean, if they ever the jump, the walk, it's even very important, even if for people who is not vegan or vegetarian, it's to eat even meat which comes out from who breeds in a native way, you know, with a very high respect of the animals. Cosa c'è? Cosa c'è? Cosa c'è? Hai fame?
And it's the same for all your animals, the way you look after all the animals here. They have a nice life.
Water buffalo, that's important. We have the cheese production. Now they're doing the mozzarella. He's trying. It's the last part now. It's, the mozzarella. It's you do it to do the mozzarella. You need hot water to make it elastic. So he's preparing. That it's those pieces there. It's the how you call when you put inside the cagliata. We work 5 days a week, and we produce more or less 200 kilos of mozzarella every day. We can see from upstairs. As we have a lot of kids which come here, we prefer that the kids don't go inside the stable. For a question of disease, and even on question to don't disturb the animals. The animals get scared, the kids get scared, and so we can visit from up here.
So how many are there?
350. On the left side you have those ones which are producing milk, and we have more or less between 90 and 100. On the other side, they are all pregnant, and they will give birth in the next months. So normally we have around 90, 100, maximum 110, which are producing milk. They are very curious animals, but they're looking to us. More intelligent of cows. And now I'm preparing even some paddocks for outside. I want that in groups we can go outside to graze the grass or even the crafts. They can go outside. Now I did one down here. The group, I would like to do another fence like this one here. I have a very big fence here. So now we have 20 crafts which are outside. And every year we have more, I told you, 3,500 children which come to visit our estate, and they have some different activities. And in this part of the estate we have more than 2,500. So we have different laboratories. We teach them how you do cheese, starting from milk, how you produce energy, electricity, starting from the crops, and what is biogas, and how you obtain from the crops the biogas, and from the biogas you produce electricity.
And everything here is richly done on your land?
It's all done on our estate, yeah. We have an important business, this part of the estate. Then we teach to the kids all the wild animals which you can find in the area, in the hills, in the vineyards, along the River Piave, on the flatlands. So I mean, it's very important to teach even what they can find. And if you maintain an environment which is very different, so you can have all these animals which you can see here, you can find them in our estate. These are all the night birds. Yeah, all different kinds. Even to try, even in this part of the state, to have a diversification, more trees.
So you've got 50 hectares here, did you say?
Now we are, this one is 17 hectares. Then in the middle of the corn you can see the new plants of this year. We have another 12 hectares, and next year we will plant other 18 hectares. So we will arrive in 3 years' time in 50 hectares of walnuts. And then we have already some in another part of the state which are already in production. And it's a plant which needs a lot of water, so we have all the irrigation system which is underneath. You can see now. We have some pipelines underneath here.
Yeah.
So you irrigate only the strip where is the plant, so you save water, which is, I mean, it's becoming always very more important to don't waste water. In 3 years' time, they will be ready. Very few chemical products. Instead, this vineyard is completely biological. the biological system. It's very difficult to do biological in this area because it rains a lot and so it can be very damp. And the problem is a fungine disease which is called peronospora, which can be very, very, I say, dangerous. High temperatures, rain, damp, humidity, fungine attacks. So we are taking care a lot of the agronomic part, so it's very important even to work the ground, the soil, to maintain the fertility. Here is a very nice area.
And this is
the more green part, you can see the difference. It's the Merlot, then changes, it's Glera. So it's a very big bunch. In this area we had a bit of the ice rain, how you call it? It's,
hell.
you can see here now. It's all in the part which was most exposed. In this area it can be very often. You can have it.
Hail.
It's very, very dangerous. Those hills there, that part there is the Montello. Now we are here in the middle, Susegana, west side, that's those most steep hills there, that's Valdobbiadene, going in that direction.